a variety of situations come up where it is the best, and it's a quick option, it's cost effective. So.
Well, for the benefit of, let me introduce two more additions to this training program. One is Madam Natali. She's from Applied Materials. Let's raise your hand. And the other gentleman is Stephen. Both are from Applied Materials. Welcome you to this training. Right, the benefits are, it's available for it's one is, if you want to also take your household employees, this is the visa where you can apply for. And then, what are the requirements? We have already discussed. It is a non-immigrant visa. So you should provide the evidence of purpose. So what is the reason why, what is the purpose you're going to this US? That is one thing that is very important. You need to convince through the documents that you submit, and even at the time of interview, like the intent of going there, whether it is for a month or 6 months, whatever, it has to be convincing for the people to grant that visa. That is one thing very important. So there should be adequate documents in terms of the letter from your employer, in terms of the letter from the sponsor, okay, and the way you answer, and also sometimes they will even ask about your stay in India, like whether you have an own house, all those things. You have to prove adequately that your intent is to only go there and be there for 3 or 4 months or 6 months. That's the maximum, and then come back. So you have to prove enough to, and for that you need to carry adequate documents to support your argument of yes, your intent is there to be only there, should be there only for 6 months. Start. We discussed partially a little while ago. Anybody? Somebody is observing like who answers questions the most, and then at the end of the day we have some prizes lined up. So
just to collate that, you take the HDFC receipt. You inform the employee that your HDFC receipt is this, and send him a checklist. You collect all the checklist, all the documentation, and if you are a VP member, you log into the VP program and get him a visa appointment based on his requirement, whichever is available, and then you send him for the appointment with all the necessary instructions that you have to give him as what he needs to talk there, what he needs to and what he should not.
What he should speak and what he
should not also. And equip him accordingly and send him for this particular visa appointment, and he attends that, he gets the visa, and he returns.
Simple. So let's revisit, let us see whether it matches with what you said.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. One, you said
you have to be a bit louder because the fan is also on.
You said that the visa is granted for a period of less than 6 months.
Okay.
In our experience, it's never been granted for more than three months.
Correct.
So, could you clarify on that? Are there companies that get visas for more than 3 months? And the second question is, what do you mean by household employees? I've not come across that term earlier.
I will tell you, 2 questions. First is, the B1 visa can be granted for up to 1 year periods. It can also be given, when you apply for the visa stamp itself, it can be a 10-year multiple entry visa, right? Given for periods of entry to the US between, and I guess 3 months and up to a year. Okay, you could be given an entry for at least a year. Seldom does that happen. 6 months is somewhat common, but 3 months is typical for cases where the person has not documented that they have a purpose to be in the U.S. longer than maybe a few weeks or a few months. If there is an ongoing assignment or it's a training that lasts more than 3 months, they will most likely give you a 6-month entry when you go into the U.S. That's my experience. But it depends on, I think, how well you document it, and when the employee, him or herself, goes to the immigration when they enter and what they say they're going to do there, they might be wise to say, look, I have a 5-6 month program, not a 3-month program, so could you please help me? Here's a letter from my employer saying what I'm doing. This is a big company, help a person out here, They might do that. The other question is about domestic employees. Let's say you're doing an L1 for maybe an executive in your company, okay? High-level person, maybe they have a few servants, they have a few people that do work for them in their home, a nanny or whatever you call it here. They're going to watch their kids. Someone who's been with that family for a long time. They don't want to leave that person behind. So the family will come under L visa. But if you apply, you can also get often a visa for the domestic servant or the employee who works in that person's home as a B1. It can be done. But you have to document carefully, again, that the person is willing to pay that person a fair wage. You have to go through a process to show there's a contract for work there. It can't just be, oh, here's my friend or my, somebody that's coming with me. It has to be a legitimate domestic employee who's been with that family, usually for at least 2 years, and documented.
Then again, it will be max for a year.
That would be max for a year typically. For each entry, you would extend for an additional year. Once the person came to US, they could get 1-year extensions to stay with that family. And often I would apply for the green card for that person as my employee at some point down the road. Those high-level managers get a green card very fast, as we'll discuss later, in most cases, so they could immediately apply for their employee to get a green card in the US, that domestic servant.